And we are now live from Brooklyn Artisan Bake House and Cafe in 2022 after a pandemic, and we're still alive drinking Trulies because we want to be truly good Jews and and change the world. Okay, it looks like I'm losing my voice. I guess it's a good sign. It means I hope it's a good sign. But let's talk about Torah. So the first thing I want to share with you today, where I say Inyane de Yoma, things of the day, I think it's very important. There was a concept that I heard very recently and think it's very powerful. Sometimes we think of that concept, it's taught a lot about it in Kabbalah, also in spirituality, but it's so important that it's a key to really our relationship with other people and achieving true unity. We have to understand, we have Adam, the first man, right, what represents humanity. Adam and Eve is humanity. And humanity is supposed to be one organism, okay? Meaning each one of us, all our souls come from that one being, so to speak. When there was that sin done, he kind of had to break himself into pieces. His soul broke itself into pieces in order to rectify the damage. So for example, if I spill this, so it's on the floor, so I can go and do it myself, or I can make many little kids, and all together we're going to do it. It's going to be much faster, right? So, like, right. So we are cloning oneself, but not to wake up again.
He needed to break up with me. It needed to happen. There's no other way to do it.
Yeah, because he shattered his neshama. When the action he did damaged his own organism. So he needed, in order to rectify what he did, he couldn't do it as he was. The job was too big, so to speak, to do on his own. He had to have his soul be split into pieces in order.
Divide and conquer.
And it's the same, yeah. And it's the same thing that happened first of all with the first and second luchos. We were not able to experience the first luchos because we did something that damaged us and we couldn't receive the light, and therefore those luchos had to be broken, and we had to take the little pieces. And they say the little pieces is the Torah Sheba'al Peh, is the hid, or is the secrets that now have to be taken and little by little put together with the second luchos. Right, so it's, now, what does that mean? It means that humanity, and I'm talking about almost every human being, but not necessarily everyone. Meaning there are human beings who are not Adamic, don't come from Adam. It can be fallen angels who are mixed with human beings, or demons, or creatures.
Really? It's like real?
Yeah, it's real.
Isn't that story time?
That's wild.
Yeah.
That sounds wild.
And by the way, I just want to warn the audience, this is not PG-13, so in case your kids watching, don't, gotta be rated R for rabbis and above. Restricted, because we're talking about deep stuff. So what happens is that we have to go back to the understanding that we are all part, beside those weird beings and creatures who are not humans, and you recognize them because they act in a way that is completely inhuman, like people killing babies and stuff like that. You cannot be human and do those stuff. It's not, they might look human, and that's, by the way, that's what the Rambam and me all say, that you have creatures who can look like humans and act like human.
The Rambam talks about
Yeah.
Wow.
Even the Rambam.
So that means that they're not really humans on this earth. That people
Right.
do all these terrible.
Right, sometimes you someone humans, like how can human beings
Yeah.
do that? Because they're not human beings.
Wow.
Okay?
So you can kill them.
Well,
Technically, yeah, but you have to be sure.
We don't actually know.
Hamas, ISIS, no problem.
Because they're
ISIS,
What
yeah.
about in the Holocaust? They gave them a lot of drugs.
Yeah, those are not humans.
A lot of drugs can make people angry, or certain drugs.
Right. So sometimes yes, you can transform yourself and end up. So we're talking about human beings in their normal state, right? Not someone who had to take drugs and start acting like crazy, like, because then you're not yourself. So, welcome back. So, to go back to the topic is the idea that each one of us are a piece of this Adam, which means if I want to reconnect to Adam Arishon, I want to reconnect to humanity, I need to understand that each one of you is really part of myself. Every one of us is like a cell of the body, but we know that information of all the bodies in each cell. Anybody knows a bit about biology and
Trident.
right? You're trying to what?
Trident.
No, so I was thinking about the cells that I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Every cell contains the information of all the other.
All the other cells, it's the genetic makeup.
Exactly.
The DNA and RNA of every single other cell.
Exactly. So you see, I'm not lying. There's scientific proof
So I
right
can
there.
clone Ariel from his little hair.
Yeah, you can clone.
You can't clone it.
Because we have enough, one is enough. That's why.
Right. I mean, that's how we got That's how we got Jurassic Park, right? And all that. Anyway, so, but technically, yes, we can clone ourselves. So what's the?
How are they trying to do that?
Yeah,
They clone sheep.
They're trying to do it right now.
they didn't.
There's actually a sheep that's her name is Sally.
Dolly.
Right.
Sally.
Down there, they had the sheep
Dolly.
down. But I
But
don't
it
know if
didn't
they,
work, right?
right. I think they died at some
She
point. They
died
got
or
sick.
something?
They age a little faster to catch up with the age of the clone.
Right. But we're working on it. But the idea is what? That each one of you is part of one part of my body. Just like each one of our souls correspond to one part of Adam Arishon. So you might be connected to his eyes, you might be connected to the brain, you might be connected to the heart, you might be connected to the hand. Each one of us is connected to one part of Adam Arishon. And we need to be working all together in harmony, like one organism. That means that if I reject any one of you, I'm rejecting myself. Right? Therefore, if I create hatred, I hate you, it's like I'm creating parts of me. The rejection is like I'm creating cancer.
But how do you
Cells
balance?
that change and that act as if they're not part of the body. And the body starts fighting. Right? What do you say?
How do you balance both, like being an individual?
Well, you and me. But if I don't love you, you're not part of. It's like I'm rejecting you. You're like my family. I accept you as my family, as my brother or sister, right?
Yeah.
The problem is that we do that only with people we like.
Yeah.
But what we do, sometimes we do that with ourselves. Oh, I don't like my nose. Oh, I don't like my feet, my toes. I don't like my hair. Easy, I don't have. Right?
Did they say that Kabo was like an extension of Adam?
Yes, and it's connected to that. The whole challenge of Adam is to learn to love himself. He didn't love and accept himself like he was supposed to, and therefore his female energy needed to be
Created?
revealed, because the females say, hey, you gotta feel, you gotta be emotional, you gotta connect. The female is the mother. Chava is Em Kol Chai, the mother of all creation. So I have to understand that I am connected on a deeper level to everyone. Imagine we're all technically in God's womb. Because where do you come from? God gave birth to all of us, right?
So we're not still there.
No, now we're outside. Oh, we think we're outside. But it says the real birth, didn't even the Chevle HaMoshiach, the pang birth of Moshiach was called pang birth. Because the birth of the world, of reality, is not there. It's almost as if we were about to go out of God's womb, and then we kind of went back in, right? Because the revelation is when your eyes open and you see the truth of the reality. Oh, this is my mommy. Once you're in the womb, you don't see that. You're fed oh yeah, I eat myself. Well, guess what? There's an umbilical cord feeding you, and you think you're feeding yourself because you're sucking your thumb, right? You see babies sucking their thumb in the womb. So we are really, we have to understand, Jews, non-Jews, humanity, everyone are part of me. If I reject you, it's like I reject part of myself. If I hate you, I hate part of myself. And most people have a very hard time with that. And it says, this is not me, okay? Understand that I'm only sharing what I've learned. Rav Kook, the Tomer Dvorah, and Kabbalah, one big humanity. That's what we have to get back to. What is Moshiach going to do? He's going to show us how we are all one big family, and instead of hating the differences, it's learning to love all the differences. I love myself because I'm different. What are people trying to do? To be all the same. We all have the same brand. We all have the same house, or we're competing, no. I accept your difference, and I love your difference, and I love that I'm different than everyone else, and I don't want the same, but we need to work together, understand I need you. Can you go to every human being and say, you know what, I love you, and I need you, and without you, I cannot be me.
Sounds like Nana.
Right, but without smoking. Nanach without smoking, right? We have to get there without the drugs. The best drug is love. That's the strongest drug. It's the drug of heals, right? What?
So is LSD.
Uh-huh.
Is love peace? Because I would rather have peace than love.
No, so love is not peace, but you cannot achieve. So
Peace
people say peace and love, and I say love and peace. If you don't have love before, you'll never reach peace. Peace is when you have the total harmony of everything. But for that, I need a synapse to connect you and me as people who love each other, brothers and sisters, and then there can be shalom. Because otherwise, it's like we call shalom bayis. Yeah, you can. You live with your wife, and you can think you're at peace. But what's the real definition of peace? Peace, shalom, doesn't mean that there's no fight. Shalom means that we work in complete harmony. We're completing each other. Shalom means complete. I only be with shalom when I'm complete with myself, when I have worked on fixing the problem that I have with myself, the lack of love, which most problems come from a lack of love. So once I'm going to be able to work on the relationship and achieve a true closeness, then I can have shalom. Shalom is the final stage. That's why the final bracha in the Shmoneh Esrei is shalom. So let's see here in this room, do we have a symbol of humanity? Do you accept everyone here just the way you are? Do you accept everyone here as part of themselves?
Such a weird thing to think about.
It's very hard. Can you see? Look at each one of you. Can you look at each one of each other and say, I cannot live without you. Are you necessary to my existence?
That's just so strange to think about.
It's strange.
I'm not me without you.
But I sometimes.
I know. But you have to say, can you look at me as your brother?
I don't know.
What makes me?
Because
You have a brother?
I do have a brother, but
Okay.
I'm not so close to him.
We have a holy sister joining us.
Oh, holy sister. Oh. So,
What?
Here's my sister.
oh, they're a real sister, yeah. A real sister or
No, not my real sister.
No, what I mean, of course, real
My
sister,
sister.
but not biological sister. You
Did
can,
you ever meet Bertha? Bertha. We were just talking about Bertha.
Oh, really?
hey, holy sister, how are you? Thanks, it means a lot.
I mean, it's a weird concept when people say brother because
You know
I'm
the
not
Gemara
close to
from
my
Rage?
brother. there are people in my life that I would say I'm closer to, like a brother. than
Right.
a
We're
relative.
like literally the.
Are you close to your pinky?
What?
We're talking
I mean,
right
it's a
now.
part of me. I don't have a choice.
It's part of you. It doesn't mean you're close to it. Do you feel close to your pinky?
I don't really think about it ever.
So, that may be one of the problems.
Yeah.
You have to. There are parts of ourselves we don't care. You know, self-care.
Right.
Self-care is a very Jewish thing to do. It's very important because self-care means I'm taking care of every part of myself, right? So if I do true spiritual self-care, then that means I'm going to take care of all of you because you're part of me. And now,
Sometimes we're not even aware of our own things.
absolutely.
Or pinky, we're not aware.
Sometimes we don't even love ourselves. You know how many? Most people don't love themselves. But they think they love themselves, but then they realize they're very strict and tough and negative. Oh, I'm a failure. And they don't really love themselves. So that's why we need, in a way, for the coming of Moshiach. See, there's a mistake with what we think of Moshiach. We think Moshiach is going to come and fix everything.
We're gonna fix everything. Moshiach's gonna come.
Moshiach is going to come to show us how to fix ourselves. He's not Jesus. He's going to do the job for you. You know, it's like, here, a little confession. Oh, okay, you're absolved. There's not such a thing in Judaism. In Judaism, we have to fix ourselves. We have to.
It's like 4 steps or 5 steps, right?
Of Teshuvah, the 3 steps of Teshuvah. And, I mean, according to the Chovos HaLevavot, there's 7 steps, 7 levels of Teshuvah. So, but the idea, is to try to really heal that. So anyway, that's a concept that's very dear to me. And we were speaking about the womb and birth. We have
Bertha.
huh?
Her name is Bertha.
Birth,
Bertha.
Bertha.
Like birth and an Bertha.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
she came at the right time.
Dreadful birth, talking about birth. So no, it's great.
Tough crowd.
And what do we call the redemption? How do we say redemption in Hebrew? Geula. What's Geula? It's megale. In Hebrew, it's to reveal, right? Megillat Esther will reveal the secrets. Why is that so important? Because it means that we are the time now. We have to put everything on the table.
Why now?
Meaning what? What does that mean?
Because we are at the end. It's our last option. Our last.
Opportunity.
It's like our surgery, open heart surgery, basically. Let's put it that way. It's open heart surgery. You need to now open and see what's there. Why do you hate yourself so much? Why do you have other people so much? Why are you so much in pain? Why are you sad? Why are you angry? And let it out. That's why everybody today is in therapy. And it's not bad, because who are you going to talk to when you don't have friends? Okay, yes, God is the cheapest therapist, and He's always open to listen. But we all need therapy. You know, I worked on the side as marriage counselor, coach, and therapist. I'm not a professional therapist per se. I'm more a Torah therapist. Torah therapy, but if you want to achieve the level of revelation ready for Moshiach, of Geula, you need to reveal yourself. You need to be able to open up and say, what are you scared of? What are you angry about? Why are you sad? And go deep, go to your childhood and open up to someone who can listen, or you can start with yourself, obviously. But when you start speaking to someone else, that's when really because you have to be able to express and explain really what happened and why you are the way you are. Because if you just do it with yourself, you're just going to say, oh, I'm like this, I'm like that, but you're not going to have the words to explain. So we are in a generation where there's no more secrets. And by the way, nowadays, we're in a world where everything is recorded, right? The CIA is listening to me right now, probably. You know, says Rabaji, let's be careful, he's going to say some crazy stuff again. You know, everything that you put on internet is recorded forever. Every website you go, everything, everything is recorded. And we think like, whoa, that's crazy. No. The spiritual world records everything. We on see? Hashem's camera, we are 24/7 recorded. And when we're gonna go to heaven, we're gonna have the nice movie. That's why I bought a lot of popcorn. It's stored in my garage to watch my movie in Olam Haba of everything I did. Now, believe it or not, you can be a great director and do cuts. I would say edit. You can edit your own movie. That's called teshuva. That's called healing. That's called, and then you come then to Olam Haba with your new edited, revised version of the movie, edited version, final cut. You can be the final cut, but if you don't do it, you're gonna need to witness your own surgery, your own and the world, because the real healing is to be able to deal with who you are. And if I don't deal with who I am in my own, I'm gonna have to confront the truth, the reality, the world. The world is gonna see who I am. Right? How many people are ready to open about all the problems? It's not easy. But we're in the generation where no more crap. And by the way, that's why there's so many kids going against their parents nowadays. Not in a necessarily negative way, but the kids are saying, the way you live is sucked. The way you treat people, the way you treat me, I reject it. Because we cannot be fake people, we cannot allow abuse anymore, we cannot allow a way of life that is fake. And the kids of our generation, they can't stand it. They're going to reject. You see that in Judaism, you see that in the world, and therefore we have to be very careful when you're going to have your kids to be as honest and as direct as possible. You can't hide. You can't say. You have to be able to say. You can't say it's just like that. Like a lot of example with in Judaism. Until very recently, the rabbi would say, the kid would say, "Oh, why do I have to keep Shabbat?" So the rabbi would say, "Because God said so." And if you question it more, you're not precarious.
Doesn't work.
Yeah, right. Today, say, "Oh yeah, well, if I don't know, you're trying to brainwash me. I'm gonna do whatever I want. Oh, God is gonna zap me. Okay, do it, right? And nothing happened. Hello, I smoke a cigarette. Nothing happened. So there's no God, right? And we have to understand that nowadays we have a generation that need the real thing, the real spirituality, the real answers, and that's why we're in a generation where all the Kabbalah comes out. What's Kabbalah is secret and secrets that are being revealed. Why now? Even Madonna learned Kabbalah. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
We need it now.
Right?
We really need it now.
No, I don't know if she's really learning the real Kabbalah, but there's a need, a thirst for spirituality. You know that all around the world, people are not necessarily aware of that, especially the Jews. Sometimes in their own little world, but you know, around the world, there's tens of thousands of non-Jews learning Torah, keeping kosher, doing it. Yeah, 10,000. I opened a group to support people who convert, and they have 12,000 members. And a lot of those, so they're not all converts, some are non-Jews who are trying to become Jewish, or they just want to learn about Judaism. It's for people who have knowledge and ask questions with me. And I get questions from non-Jews more than Jews. You know what I was saying? It's like, what is Judaism? How does it work? How do we serve God properly? How do I pray? Why do we keep kosher? Should I keep kosher? Should I do Shabbat? What can I do? There's a thirst because the world recognizes that there is a truth, that there's the truth to the Torah, there's a truth to Judaism, and everybody's coming back to their roots. A lot of Christians realize that Jesus was really Jewish and that Jesus was a religious Jew, and they realize, wow, everything we're told about Christianity is wrong. It all goes back.
There's also a big wave. Everyone's going to Israel now. Every single friend that I know, everyone's going to Israel.
A lot
It's
of
weird.
Christians in Israel. A lot. There's a guy I follow.
Of
really
Christians?
famous. He's going to Israel. He's dating a Jew. He talks about how like Judaism is so much more accepting than Christian. Like when it comes to like he said, like you can ask questions. He says it's just like very interesting to see it from another perspective.
Right.
Like,
If
it's
you
crazy.
read what
He's like a
non-Jews
huge fan of
wrote
Jews,
about
Israel.
Jews,
Yeah.
you'll be surprised. we Jews don't write about Jews like non-Jews write about Jews.
Crazy.
Okay, now again, we're not perfect. There's a lot of imperfection in our Judaism. One of the big problems why we're not closer to non-Jews is because we think we're better.
It's wrong.
That's dangerous. Yeah, it's wrong. You think God
Exactly
shows
like
you
when I
that
was
you're
taught in
better?
school, we were taught
What
in
did
school
you
that
do
we're
to
special.
deserve to be Jewish?
No, I was born.
Right?
I was thinking, but they used to teach us in school.
I know,
remember as a
I know,
kid.
they told me
You're
too.
special, and I was like, why?
Yeah,
Okay.
special doesn't mean better.
Right, but they would make it like in a way that you're better.
Yeah, because
you're
we all want to be
special.
special.
Were,
We all,
were they
Surround
so
yourself,
were they so
like-
scared that we're gonna intermingle that they said these things?
yeah, well, that's one of the reasons. But it all started from us at the root, us, because we didn't want to. They were trying to challenge us to marry us, like with Bilam and all that, creating schemes to make the Jewish people fall with, because they're very passionate people. So you have a nice lady trying to say, "Hey, I want to give you love." So, love. We love love. We're people of love. But that's how Bilam got a lot of Jews killed like that because of that. And the whole problem of intermarriage and how Jews want to love everyone. The greatest Germans were the Jews. The greatest French were I'm very French. I eat croissant every day, more than any French.
You do CrossFit every day.
What?
Croissant.
Croissant, French wine, baguette, French cheese. Oui.
Maybe. Wow.
And-
So
and-
wait, if we're not supposed to think we're better,
Is your
we're
wife
supposed to think, then what are we supposed to think?
We're supposed to think that we have a great responsibility, and our responsibility is greater. Greater doesn't mean you're better. It means, like, is Obama or Trump or Biden better than me? I don't think they're better human beings than me. Do they have? It's hard to find Mandela or Martin Luther King. Are they better than me? Maybe, I don't know. But do they have a greater responsibility than me? No.
We don't know. Yeah.
Because I chose to be Jewish, I chose to be part of a Jewish nation whose responsibility is to save the world. So I was given great power. With great power comes great responsibility. Doesn't make you better,
Just a different role.
right? Different role, different. Is my father better than me? I don't know. Am I better than my father? It doesn't matter. We cannot even compare because it's apple and oranges. Is an orange better than an apple?
No. Perspective.
Is a man better than a woman?
Perspective.
Ooh,
Yes.
controversial. Right? It's not better.
Right.
One has different responsibilities, and you cannot compare. You can only say
So
better
is this the word
if you
can't gauge?
if you had the same parents, the same upbringing. You were twin, and you were at exactly the same opportunities, same thing. Maybe you can say, "Oh, I'm better than the other," because you come from the exact same. You're a clone, and you have everything the same. Then, oh, he acts better than the other with everything he's given.
Okay.
But nobody's the same,
Right.
right? Like I say, you can never judge someone until you're in their shoes. Yeah, exactly. So you can never truly judge someone completely. We judge in order to not hurt ourselves, to be hurt by other people. So we have to be careful. But there's a need to.
So we're really supposed to be a good example for the non-Jews in the world. We're supposed to be,
Absolutely.
It's not about being better. or
How can you be a teacher and a light unto the nation if you hate them? You know, it's like you take your kids, I hate you, but I want you to become a great person. Yeah, are you bipolar or something? Or it doesn't
Yeah.
The
fit.
teacher has to actually believe more in the students than the students believe in the
Right.
students.
Absolutely.
And we're-
Beautiful,
think
yeah.
about
Right.
it.
Teacher.
It's
And we
weird
should.
because we don't see it that way.
Right. Because we are being so conditioned to be careful about the danger of the outside world. We have been assimilated, we have been persecuted, we have been endangered, but that's not all the non-Jews. The leaders, the negative leaders, were acting like that. But then they say, why did we have anti-Semitism? You know what the true Kabbalah answer of anti-Semitism is? Because we have created hate within each other,
Wow.
and that now comes the karma. It comes back. Whatever happens outside in the world is what you have created in your
We're the
own
projector.
family.
Wow.
Yeah.
It just
If today I show hate to you, There's a non-Jew who isn't gonna come and hate me. Say, oh, you experience hate for him. You're gonna have a bounce. It's gonna bounce back. You're gonna have the ripple
Jews are the
effect.
projector, and the outside world is like the screen. So whatever you do between each
Right.
other, you will see projected right back at you.
Nobody even talks about this. Because I feel like
That's
maybe,
why we should
create a
maybe
changing
if
the
we came
world.
from love, we wouldn't come to run to the outside world. We would more embrace it in a different way than thinking, oh, it's all bad. It's all,
Right.
Yeah.
It's a whole
Nobody
new
teaches this
world.
thing. Yeah.
It's a whole new world. So the reason today there's a lot of, again, more and more rabbis come out and start saying things that we're not so familiar. By the way, everything I'm telling you, it's in Chazal, but it was never necessarily focused on as much, or never really understood completely. We were never in touch with the whole world. We never had internet. We never had electricity and the ability to connect to the entire world and know what's going on in the world. We thought the earth was flat, or whatever it is, right? We as things go, the world becomes more and more unified. To go back to one global consciousness. Nowadays, there are thousands and thousands of non-Jews who meditate for the planet to be more unified and more loved and more healed. This is happening more within Judaism and outside Judaism. There's more. Do you know how many groups of meditation and spiritual chaburas of praying together and healing together have been created? It's something a bit unprecedented.
Mental health now is like a huge thing.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
In Judaism, there's meditation.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Meditation is a Jewish thing. What? No, a lot of people don't know that. Our prayers are supposed to be meditation. Actually, most of the things we say in our Siddur are mantras. That's what we repeat every day, certain things again and again, so that we can be. So the biggest lie is that there is no meditation in Judaism. It's our prayers are meditation.
Burning, just saw. That's scary.
Something's burning?
No, nothing's burning.
Ah, okay, well, Hashem.
There's all about the meditation of the burning,
Right.
Bread tastes so good.
the burning desire to meditate.
It's my
So
my heart is burning with love. Smoking.
In cholesterol.
So that's why today, by the way, again, it's all fit together. You actually burned something. You sure it's not in there?
Rabbi, they're doing tashlach, it's okay.
No, that's not
That's your
Did
comment.
you check in the kitchen? Because it smelled burned in the kitchen.
something.
It's here. It's here.
Are you sure? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's right here.
Don't worry, out there, we're safe.
Drip to the bottom and it's gonna smell.
Okay, so the idea is to understand that this is why today we have so many problems in relationships, man, woman, marriage, all that. Why people have a hard time getting married and committing, because of that. Because if we cannot reveal ourselves to ourselves, we cannot even look in the mirror, we cannot learn to accept ourselves fully and love ourselves and love someone else for who they are, then their relationship, which is all a mirror of who we are, right? Especially love relationship, husband and wife, or boyfriend, girlfriend, it's supposed to be a real mirror. Your boyfriend, girlfriend, or spouse is gonna know everything that's bad with you. Now, why is that a problem? You know everything that's bad with you, right? But if you don't love the other, right, then and that or the other doesn't love you for who you are and rejects you because of your flaws, then you're not gonna be able to love yourself, right, and accept yourself with flaws. We usually accept ourselves without flaws. Most people, actually, most people don't truly, fully love themselves. Do you know why you have flaws and weaknesses?
Mm-hmm.
What? Right.
What?
This is it, to work on them.
She's so
What?
full.
Yeah.
Very
She's such a brother.
Well, you know her name. Bertha. Bertha. Yeah. What word were you going to say?
Hashem gave us the opportunity to recreate ourselves, like, just like to be creators like Him.
Right.
Gives flaws to give us. Right.
So what do the flows help with?
They help you they give you the opportunity to be a creator because you're recreating yourself.
Oh, so yeah, meaning okay, but to change those things,
Yeah,
to
to grow.
creating a new way, a new.
To
a
elevate
new-
your soul, because we came from a place we were one place. Our soul was like one level. We came down so we can rise even higher. That's what
On our own.
We have to be grateful for our flaws.
Right, right. Yeah. So most people don't look at themselves. And by the way, I want you to know, even victims of abuse, okay, they think it's their fault. It's a natural thing that we feel guilty and ashamed because someone did something to us. Which you think like, right? It's very true. And it's like, but why? Why is it like that? Right? And the truth is that we are, because we think that those flaws that we have, if this happened to me, I must be a bad person.
Somebody can convince you of something, like people who are so charismatic and so like, they can convince you of anything, and if
Like
you
me, right?
believe it, yeah. Listen, you could take your power and use
Oh,
it for anything.
absolutely.
You would be so convincing either way.
Yes. I want to convince you all to eat a lot of
Yeah, but
croissant
they say
every day.
victims of domestic or any type of abuse go back 7 times. Sadly, it's
Right,
very, it's
right.
very sad.
Yeah.
7 times somebody goes back.
You know the rabbi deals
You
with
know?
people.
It's very,
You know
it's
that?
very sad.
Right.
I didn't know.
Wait, what about the 7 times thing?
They go back 7 times, I read.
When you make a mistake? When you
No,
No,
like,
I mean-
I was reading it about it somewhere.
You read
And
that?
that's- Yeah.
7 times?
Yes.
In what book?
I don't remember where it was.
Because there's no source for
That's
that.
the
There's
rabbi.
no source for this?
He
No?
works with kids at rescue. So.
No, it's not kids. I'm talking about like domestic abuse specifically.
He works with
I don't know. It could be I don't know. I don't know if it was a valid source, but that's what I read.
They return 7 times to their abuser.
Yeah.
I never read that. And I was in social work school, so I did a lot of trauma work. So I don't.
I mean, I probably shouldn't say that if I don't know exactly where it's from.
No. It's
But I
interesting.
know that a lot of times people go back. It's sad.
No. They go back. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
The victims. Yeah.
it's hard to detach. So today we're in a world where we are confronted more directly with all those things. It's because it's the end of time, and it's our last chance to do our profound own surgery, to love each other, to respect each other, and to achieve true unity, true organism. So and that's why we have so many problems in the relationship, in our marriage, or that because we don't look it, we compete with each other, we try to be better than the other, and we don't allow to be completely vulnerable.
But how do
With
we
you.
do that? Like, what do we do?
Well, the first part is truly self-love and to try to have self-compassion.
So what do we do? Like we say, we love ourselves. kind
Oh,
of thing?
yes. So you start with treating yourself as if you will treat your best friend that is feeling sad or angry or has a flaw. What would you tell your best friend if he had this flaw or this problem? And we don't even do that with ourselves. It's much more tough. We're much more. There are many other techniques. Sometimes it's meditation. Sometimes we need a way to release the thing.
Exercise.
Exercise. Exercise is a great
That's
thing.
release.
And of course, praising yourself, having a lot of love for yourself, but you need to look up at yourself. If you don't look at yourself, how are people gonna look at you? And sometimes it's very hard for lovers to love each other because it's very hard to look up at someone that doesn't look themselves up, right? So I want to see your greatness, but if you don't act great and you don't feel great, how am I gonna look at you with greatness? I need to see your greatness. I can only see your greatness if you yourself see your own greatness, right?
Robert,
Most of the
how's the
time.
balance of seeing greatness in yourself, but where it's not like a delusional type of greatness? So you're not like, I'm so amazing, I'm so
No,
great,
be-
but you're not doing anything.
No, so no, because you have to be honest with yourself and see, this is what I do, this is what I've accomplished, this is my positive traits. Obviously, some people can be lying to themselves, and full of their own ego, and
Yeah.
I'm the most beautiful man in the world, like, but.
So I feel like people say it's good to criticize yourself, but also they say you shouldn't criticize yourself too much. You should
Right.
also be kind to yourself. Balance,
Yeah, you have
I
to
don't
have
know.
balance. But that's why you have a rabbi or a friend a close friend that you trust, or a therapist that helps you, or a spouse, I help you be totally honest with yourself, completely. You know.
I don't like therapists, okay? Because they're
No, I don't-
annoying and they tell you how you feel, and you're like, no, that's not how I feel.
Right. No, you have to be careful.
Let's write that down.
I think I think a lot of therapists are not good therapists. That you have to, and if a therapist is not connected to spirituality, to Torah, you have to
Yeah,
be
I think it's like a
more
match. It's like a shut off with a therapist.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Because I also had an experience where it wasn't so good, but I've also had experiences where it was really good. So I think it's like a shut off.
Right.
That's true.
I think so.
Right. No, it's true also.
But sometimes they convince you of things you don't actually feel,
Right.
so you start to
Just
feel
like
Yes,
that
yes.
instead, it's okay.
Yes.
yeah.
Their job is to project your feelings. They
Really?
can
I feel like
talk,
therapists
they're
are
just
supposed to
gonna
be
open you up
tools,
more.
no?
That's like what they're trying to do.
I had.
No, but some,
think
yes,
Isn't it
some.
supposed to
I don't
teach
think
you
they're.
tools?
I think it's for some people.
I had a teacher who wasn't a therapist, but she would sit down with me and teach me like tools in a specific field that was in, and it changed my life. It really
Right.
did. It wasn't like she was telling me everything's gonna be okay. She taught me tools to.
That's
to
it.
move forward.
That's exactly what I do. I'm not like a certified therapist. Okay, I'm a social worker, and I've learned a lot of therapy all the time. And but the Torah itself, Torah is the cure for the world, right? The world is sick. The Talmud says the world is sick. There's a Yetzirah that is, like a poison, and you have one cure, and that's the Torah. All the therapy is in the Torah. So, and by the way, I create recently for someone. I didn't even realize. I have 12 steps. It's 12 steps of how to deal with someone's trauma.
Really? Can you send this to me?
I actually heard. Rabbi, I
It's
heard.
copyrighted.
It's copyrighted.
No,
Don't worry, I'm not that.
no, I'm just kidding. I just have to.
Use it for my benefit. for growing
Sends you
one.
like
No, no.
via format instead of like.
Maybe we can do it next time
I would
or
love to,
something.
yes.
I will go
You're
back to the
a
12.
beautiful woman. Any guy who gets you is like the
You're
luckiest
so
person.
sweet. You're a beautiful woman.
I mean, in the whole world.
Guys, I think you should both get married right away with someone beautiful.
Beautiful song.
Like about
Yes,
shut up.
yes.
Yeah, that song was like, I love that.
I think Rabbi Shandel once told me that the actual 12 steps may have a Jewish source.
Right, yeah. I mean, 12 tribes, 12 mazalot. So, it will make
Maybe
sense.
besides that, just like the actual steps themselves are.
They took
important.
everything from her. No, just kidding. But yeah, it's very possible. It's very possible.
Can trauma be a real thing? Because I feel like some people will be like, oh, I'm not a victim. What happened to me, I'm a survivor. But sometimes it affects you.
What is trauma?
I don't know what traumas can be.
Trauma
I
is-
think it's something that happened
Do
to
you
you
want the
that
Webster's
affected you.
dictionary?
And, like your body
How
can
do we
feel it.
use
Your
that word?
body, your
It's a
mind,
response to an
certain words
impossible
can
action
trigger
the mind
you
cannot
or like
comprehend.
put you in a headspace. I think maybe that's trauma.
Right.
That your body or your mind recognizes something that's like,
Right. So a trauma is an experience that was so strong that you were not able to process it.
That's the
in
definition?
In the no, yeah. I mean, that's the way I explain the definition. But your body or the self, the brain or the body was not able to process that experience, and therefore it created what?
Fight or flight stenosis.
Right, or freeze, fight or freeze, and so you store. There's a disruption of the natural flow of your emotion and neurons or that, and it's stuck until you deal with it, right? What I think most people experience in terms of trauma today is the freeze process, where it gets stored, it freezes into your body, right? And it needs to be released. And then unless I deal with it, I'm gonna be stuck in a certain way of thinking or certain anxiety or certain state of emotion, and I'm gonna keep going to have those emotions, this anxiety, this stress, this fear, this victimized way of thinking, and we become addicted to that because every day you repeat the same thing. You know, like a kid sees a movie and he has a nightmare after the movie because he was scared. Why is he having a nightmare? Because the image he saw in the movie was so scary, right? So it was so intense that emotionally he was not able to.
it's not possible.
Right, he can't process. Like it was so intense that now his body has stored and brain has stored that, and now during the night he needs to reprocess like, oh, has happened. Is it possible? And he needs to
Wow.
release.
Because you couldn't process it, your body,
It
it's
keeps
if you
repeating.
hear a song and it keeps replaying your head.
That's right.
And it's your brain trying to finish the loop.
Yes.
Right, but so what does it mean to be able to process an event? Like what if another person with mature emotional stability experienced that event? What is it about him that made it process? What's the difference?
It's an excellent question. The more you have yourself regulated, meaning the more you have learned how to deal with the world, the more you have more inner peace and you know how to deal with things, the stronger you become in your mind and your emotions, and the less you're affected by the external influences. Basically, like one Rav Ben Chetri, there's a French Rav in France, he says that the more you are empty inside, the more you're going to be traumatized. The more you're full inside, meaning you are a complete human being and harmonized, the less the intensity of the outside forces will affect you.
What if certain like words that that you're
Trigger.
whole and you're happy and you're filled, but certain words can trigger you remember a memory.
It's conditioned in
Like you have like a flashback, like
Right.
certain words or
It's
certain
horrible.
actions, like if somebody touches you in a specific way or somebody
Is it
tells you
EMT?
something
I'm the
specific way.
also.
Is that possible? That like
Yeah.
how do you heal that? How do you heal that? If it's not,
By-
not in the
by
moment,
go-
you're not thinking about
right.
it.
So you have
actively.
so you have to heal it, or by trying to find out why you were triggered by that, the root. So you do psychotherapy and try to go back to your childhood. That's one of the best way.
I did inner child therapy for a year.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, but for me,
Okay,
like
Daniel,
if certain things, I had something that happened to me that was very traumatic, and certain like actions with hands or words can like bring me back to memory.
Right.
And it's not necessarily where I'm like in such a bad place, but it's hard to like
To get rid
when
of
you
that.
remember it, you're like still in shock
Right.
of what happened.
And so one of the way would be to learn to go back to that place and release it in a sense like, I'm at peace with now. This is not gonna hurt me anymore. You are not gonna hurt me, right? It's almost
So talk yourself
when we
through
are
it.
hurt and abused, it's that as if the abuser is stealing our head,
Yeah.
and we allow him to keep doing that. And in order to do that, it's like, no, I'm not connected to you anymore. You're not gonna hurt me. And it makes you be stronger in a position of strength, but you have to be more full with yourself.
So talk yourself through it. And all.
Yeah. We can all heal ourselves. We don't need therapists to speak technically. But sometimes it's so intense that to do it alone is much harder. We need
Yeah.
support. We need someone to
Guide us through the experience.
and to share with,
Right.
because it
right.
gives us an understanding that we're not crazy and that we.
Trauma is a very, very complicated thing. When we go into a scene, as when we go to an accident, let's say, and the person's there's not just trauma, psychological trauma, there's a physical trauma.
Right.
Meaning you can have traumatic arrest, traumatic cardiac arrest, traumatic
Right.
shock,
Right.
arrive to a scene. It takes the body time because the heart and the brain are not communicating properly with each other.
Yeah.
And
It's a very scary feeling. I
like
think.
when you have like an accident where you get really hurt, your body goes into a state of shock,
Yeah.
right? So you completely numb.
Yeah.
But you understand what your body is saying? Is like, I'm gonna shut off all your feelings, physical feelings. So imagine when it's an emotional shock. They say, my heart is not gonna feel anymore because it's so much in pain from feeling that it's cutting
You're
all
numb,
the
you're
emotional.
numb.
Yeah, you're
You're
numb.
numb, you're just
And
like-
we know people
It's your
who are
body
numb.
It's
saving
like
yourself.
you're like a
Right.
zombie, yeah.
Because you're trying to protect yourself. But so what do you have to do? You have to go to the hospital. You have to make the body believe he's right, little by little, he's safe.
If you can't forget that feeling, like that certain feeling of that shock, like
You can.
you
Well,
can?
no,
Like, it's something
you can remember it, but you need to learn to be able to process it.
Because I feel like sometimes your body, not even your mind, you can psychologically be away from something, but your body will remember that feeling of like.
Yeah, but you
like,
can learn to be at peace with it and release it, right? It's not easy. Again, we're in a world today where everybody is really dealing with their traumas, and everybody is telling you. I speak with so many people, and 8 out of 10 have the trauma. It's like You know, and even if it's something as simple as a divorce, as simple as, you know, losing a close friend, that are still big traumas. Being mugged in the street, you know, there's always trauma in the womb of the mother. If the mother has something, is very scared, and it traumatizes the baby, even it's not even born.
Wow. Yeah, it's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. So, you know, the rabbi says that when a woman is pregnant, the baby should not watch in the TV. She should not go to the zoo and watch things that are very, could be disturbing, for sure not horror movies, but things that are ugly or animals, because it can affect the baby one, right?
But that's how we learn. We learn from the animals sometimes. Like we learn
But not
about
not during that stage of our development.
So during pregnancy, we shouldn't see any animals.
It's too much.
No, it's
for us
not.
to
No, you should. You
Not
should.
any animals.
No, no,
just
no.
Scary stuff.
Yeah, you should not go out of your way to stare at animals
Because what
during
you
that time.
feel will
Nothing wrong with
influence
the
the
animal.
baby.
Yeah, nothing
If
wrong
you
with the
feel
animal.
that the animal is beautiful, like a cat or something. That's fine.
Yeah, I think
You're
it's
saying
different.
wild
I think that's
Oh,
different.
man.
I think that's different.
Like a war fight going on.
No, yeah, there's a lot of people.
What's going on out there?
There's a lot of people who have cats and dogs and they have babies and nothing is wrong. I'm just saying
You don't go to Smart and
to
watch
show.
gazelle.
Yeah, if you have a lion like
Oh,
destroying a
gosh.
gazelle right in front of you, that can be perturbing for your eyes. Or you have a monkey eating his own poop. You don't want to see that.
Or monkeys eating other monkeys because they do that.
Yeah, the little
seen that.
kids, they kill their own.
You see that?
Well, then I have a channel that I follow that I watch.
Right.
Are you traumatized?
No.
No.
That's a lot of
Well, you haven't seen everything.
He's whole inside.
Yeah, he is. He's a buffer. You know?
Should I show you?
Do you work?
Show you this.
Do you work as a
Yeah.
Are you a social worker?
I'm a social work. I'm a master in social work, and I'm and then certified marriage coach, but that's on the side. But so I do.
Bertha was the rock star of Rage.
Oh, Rage.
You heard of Emmett?
Yeah, so I used to work for him at 10 years
Okay.
before. And who was,
Oh.
you know, Abramov?
Ruben.
No,
Ruben.
No, Ruben, no. Not Daniela Abramov and her brother,
You're Daniela, but you got married. No.
Boris.
Daniela Rafaela, that's someone else.
Right. So they wanted me to work with Rage.
Oh, okay. But you don't work
No,
with Rage.
no, I don't work. I'm a lone solo.
Do you live in Queens?
I live in Muncie.
Muncie?
Yeah,
Like far.
Muncie?
yeah.
Wow.
You don't
I
know
come just for you guys.
Wow, we are so blessed. We really are.
I'm
Wow.
blessed that you
We are.
can.
Hashtag list.
How did you and Ilya and Joe like?
What do you mean? I'm strong because the rabbi here.
What?
In Baruch, this is the campus rabbi.
Oh,
I
really?
became from the
That's
rabbi
so
grandmaster.
interesting. So you did
Only
Baruch
pickles.com
and
rabbi.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
really?
Queens College in Baruch.
I was in many college campus.
Okay.
But I met him in college, and that was my first introduction to Judaism.
Wow, that's crazy.
You.